I just cleared out 22 stocks and 7 years of investing history. Now I'm building a lazy portfolio designed to beat the market with zero stress. And today in this video, I'm going to show you what my core 8 portfolio looks like. At the very beginning of my investing journey, I put my money into pretty much anything you can think of. And that's because I was taught that a diversified portfolio is the name of the game, especially when you're a beginner. Albeit as a beginner is a very good idea, but eventually I wasn't a beginner anymore. I was more experienced, but my portfolio didn't really reflect that. I wanted to be more of an investor, but I ended up becoming more of a collector. I had almost 40 different stocks and ETFs. I was checking the news and reading different articles, consistently looking at metrics like dividend yields, and overthinking and driving myself crazy because that's what happens when you're monitoring so much. But here is the truth that I've learned. As a small investor like myself, that much complexity is a trap. It literally can slow you down. Not only did I have too many positions to track, but the positions that were actually doing very well were getting super diluted by the ones that weren't. Plus, if I'm only investing $30 a week, then spreading that across over 30 different positions means I'm putting less than $1 in each. It's really hard to build momentum that way. So with that, I moved on from 22 different positions and kept a remaining 8, which make up my core portfolio, each sharing 2 different engines. The goal here is really simple. I want my portfolio to consist of long-term aggressive growth, but also long-term dividend growth, each representing an engine in that 2-engine strategy. I also have these positions separated into 3 categories. The first one being the aggressors. And from the aggressors, I have the epitome of aggressors, which is NVDA. See, NVDA pays a $1 per year dividend per share, which is pretty low, but it is a part of their annual 20% increase over the past 5 years. But what's cool is over that same period of time, its share price has increased by over 1,200%. The past 10-year growth is even crazier, but you guys can see it. Luck definitely played a really big role for me when it comes to owning this position, from buying it when I did years ago to actually holding it and seeing how the world has transitioned into accepting AI more and more each day and seeing NVIDIA and the role it plays in it. It got to the point where NVIDIA is the largest position in my portfolio when it comes to unrealized gains. Next, we have Broadcom. It has become one of my favorite stocks over the past few years and is the epitome of my 2-engine rule. Over the past 5 and 10 years, its annual dividend growth is 12 and 30% respectively, and its 5 and 10-year share price growth are about 800 and over 2,600% respectively. When you combine a share price growth like that and a dividend that's increasing every single year at a rate significantly higher than the rate of inflation, you result in a total return that's over 100% higher than its price return over 5 years. Next is SOXX, the iShares Semiconductor ETF. One of 2 ETFs in my portfolio which virtually holds all tech positions, including NVIDIA and Broadcom. It's a little redundant, but it's just me believing in the entire tech / semiconductor industry while taking an extra chance on these 2 positions that I really believe in. Now, over the past 5 and 10 years, SOXX has grown by almost 280% and over 1,600% in its share price. Its dividend growth is also pretty significant, growing at over 9% and over 15% over the past 5 and 10 years. Then we have Microsoft, which we're all pretty familiar with. The past 5 and 10 years have brought Microsoft over 60 and 700% share price growth, along with 10% annual dividend growth over that same period of time. And finally, there's Apple, another one of my favorite positions and the oldest position of what's left in my portfolio. Its share price growth is over 140% and over 1,100% over the past 5 and 10 years, and in that same period of time, it's had an annual dividend growth of over 4 and over 7%. Those are some very volatile positions at times, and that leads me to the next category, which are my foundation, consisting of 2 different stocks that keep my portfolio grounded when those volatile moments happen. First, we have Costco, which is another position that I'm starting to really enjoy, primarily because of its predictability with its revenue, especially with its different sources of income. And especially with a low budget of $30 per week, predictability is amazing. They have a share price that's grown over 180% in the past 5 years and over 500% in the past 10. Tackle that on with a 13% 5 and 10-year dividend growth rate is why I had to keep Costco as one of my top 8. The other position is Williams-Sonoma, a premier retailer of high-end furniture and kitchenware with a specific yet large target of shoppers that also hits that predictable sweet spot. If you look at their share price history, you're looking at over 100% in the past 5 years and over 600% in the past 10. That's on top of their 5 and 10-year annual dividend growth of 19 and 20%. That predictability, or we'll just rephrase it as reliability when it comes to their cash flow is what really makes them an equalizer to the tech positions that I hold, and that is why I plan on holding those as well. Finally, there is the anchor of my portfolio, consisting of one position, the other ETF being SCHD, and shortly I'll explain why I call it the anchor position. So SCHD is the other ETF in my new portfolio with a large combined holding of healthcare and consumer defensive stocks, so yet another volatile offset. It's a bit of a slow burn when it comes to the share price growth, with a 27% and 137% increase over the past 5 and 10 years respectively. Same with the dividend growth, which is at about 8 and 10% over the past 5 and 10 years. It's the anchor of my portfolio because I consider it the bridge between the two different styles of investing that I want to have in my lifetime. Currently, at the young age that I'm at, I want to focus more overall on share price growth, even though I'm investing into dividend positions. But as I get older, I'll bridge over into more passive income. And SCHD is the happy medium of the two. Now, cutting down from almost 40 different positions to 8 seems pretty concerning, seems really risky because of that lack of diversification, but to be honest, I feel a lot safer at the end of the day. And that's because instead of me trying to focus on so many CEOs and other metrics like that, I'm only focused on these 8 that I truly believe in. I'm no longer betting on a bunch of guesses. I am betting on high quality businesses. But investing in those 8 positions was only half the battle. The other half is how I'm funding them. I'm not looking into spending a lot of time trying to buy the dip. I'm consistently investing $30 per week into these positions every single week. This one shift removes the emotion and lets the heavy compounding do its thing over time while I get my time back. But if you're wondering why I decided to take a portfolio I built for over 7 years and completely burn 90% of it as far as the number of shares, and make sure you guys check out this video where I go into a deep dive of what I did and why I did it. It's something you guys will definitely be interested in, but I appreciate you guys watching this video, and until next time, as always, take care.